Gu Xian Shou, divine Mari-HuAna brings immortality. So, welcome to King Dao, Temple of the Way of Infinite Harmony. I just have to stop every time I say that. Infinite harmony. So, if you came to this channel, you already know. That's why I put that title there. Cannabis is the first word. Kung Fu Yoga. Now, I'm a retired Tai Chi teacher. I used to teach physical. I used to teach Wu Style Tai Chi Chuan. So after teaching, I found that there were problems. I had problems with learning how to fight with Tai Chi. See, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So when you're from the hood, you get into this stuff. You know, we look at it in the movies, and we look at it, you know, go to demonstrations or whatever, and we think that this Kung Fu, traditional Chinese Kung Fu, is going to teach us how to fight or defend ourselves at the very least. And it will eventually, and that's the word, eventually, traditional Kung Fu. See, I classified different types of kicking and punching and wrestling and all that. So you have at the at the fastest end, self-defense, where you just go and learn how to get an attacker off of you as quickly as possible, and then you break the hell out. Now, at the other extreme is combat. Now, what I mean is that I am an ex-Marine, and in there, you learn that if you're on the battlefield and there's like 100 of them and 5 of you, you can't sit up there and try to punch somebody in the jaw and punch them in the stomach and be like trying to knock people out. On a battlefield, it's kill and move on to the next combative. So that's the other extreme. So in self-defense, you got, you know, you got to be in legal, you know, you got to be within the law. So you can only do damage to somebody that's trying to do that amount of damage to you. So if they just trying to grab you, you can only get away. If they trying to kill you, then by law, you're supposed to be able to kill them first. But who's going to determine that? Well, that's a whole nother story. So you have self-defense, just getting somebody off of you, and you have combat where you just kill. Now you have in the middle somewhere martial art. Now you have to listen to the word martial art. And, in the old days and probably even today, a lot of people compare martial art, especially kung fu, to dance. And I have no problem with that, because if you are, say, a ballet dancer, if you know anything about ballet, if you see how strong these people get, and the stuff that they go through to learn ballet, breaking their toes and the muscles in their legs, this is kung fu in the real sense of the Chinese word kung fu. Anything that you do, any work that you do over a length of time, and you achieve a high level of skill at that thing, that is what's called kung fu. Kung fu doesn't necessarily mean just martial art. It can be applied to martial art. It can be applied to dance, like I said, ballet. It can be applied to cooking. If you are a good cook, if you really into cooking, and you get into like the kung fu of cooking, you're gonna get into every aspect, and you're gonna get really good. You ever go to one of them like Japanese restaurants where they cook everything right up in front of you and chop stuff up and do that shit really fast? That's some kung fu shit. In Chinese, it would be kung fu. In Japanese, it would be some other shit. But anyway, the purpose of this video was to talk to the people that see this video, because today, April 6th, is going to be the first day that I put out the promotion of this channel. And I only have a few videos, that I'm going to be adding more videos. But I wanted to get this video out the way. These videos that I'm doing first are, I'm calling explainer videos. So they will be longer than the algorithms of YouTube. So after I get the explainer videos out the way, that's going to be longer, then every week I'll start doing just the cannabis kung fu, and I'm going to try to keep that within the 12 minutes of the algorithms of YouTube. You understand? So I'll get all the explanations. What is the kung fu? What is cannabis kung fu? What is this and that I have to explain for a minute, and then I'm just going to show the movements from the form every week from then on. Now, on the last video I just did, I talked about the holy chalice. So it's this holy chalice that I use, and I will be promoting to use as part of the spirituality as well as the alchemy. When we talk about Gu Xian Shou, we're talking about getting into a art and science that's talking about transforming the physical body into a spiritual body with breathing, meditation, etc. practices, but also using elixirs of immortality. That's what the whole Margu thing is about. Elixirs of immortality, but using the Mari-HuAna. And I'm saying Mari-HuAna on purpose because the hemp is a whole nother thing. CBD oil and all that. All the medicine, all the things that'll bring you self-realization is in the Mari-HuAna. Now, disclaimer. To learn this system, you don't have to. It's no dogma in here. If you want to learn the system, you don't have to smoke, eat, drink, put on your skin, whatever, Mari-HuAna. There's not a rule that you have to do this. But if you're going to learn this system, you are going to learn, especially if you want to be certified as a consultant instructor, you're going to learn about the science, because now there's science. It's not just, well, I believe that this herb is cool, dude. No, the science is out now. And it's up to you to, I'm going to put it out as much as I can, but it's up to you to do your own studies too. The science of how this herb actually helps with longevity. Now, all these higher, no pun intended, all these higher aspects of the herb is about, um, you know, bringing it up to a higher level than just, oh, I'm high, dude. Getting into the spirituality, the self-realization, and higher. But there are practices that go with that. So that's what I want to show on this channel. So, well, we call this the Holy Chalice. This is my peace chalice. I have a war chalice too. I already talked about that on the last video. But this is a peace chalice. And what we do, or what I do on these videos, is go ahead and get your, well, right now, if you don't understand why I'm promoting the chalice, go get your blunt, go get your joint, go get your bowl, and let's smoke one together. I'll give you a second. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Okay, that's a second, I guess. Let's smoke together. I'm using a lighter, and I'm going to keep mentioning that when I use lighters, because I'd rather use everything natural, like we used to use hemp string to light up. But this is all I got. I'm in the hood. They don't have hemp string in the hood. Light up, sisters and brothers. That was a really cheap pull because my chalice is a little loose right now. I'm going to get it together. I'm just starting the channel. What? Anyway, let's get to the purpose of this video. I'm doing this video because, as I said, this Cannabis Kung Fu Yoga is going to be the first time anybody that I know of has put anything or has tried to put anything like out here commercially. So what I mean, I know a brother, see, I used to live on Venice Beach, and I know a brother who, he was promoting cannabis yoga. I never seen what he was talking about. And most people who talk about that, basically, they just smoking and then doing yoga or whatever it is that they promoting. So this channel is going to get really deep. You can just look at my wall. I put this wall together to pretty much show some of the things that I will be teaching um, that go along with this cannabis yoga. So it is my belief that no, it's not a belief. You can see I'm not young. I'm 67 years old. I'm pushing 70. I'm just starting something new. But the point is, it took me all these years to get my own thing. You understand? I really could have made it as a Tai Chi teacher back in the day. But anyway, this whole thing is not just about giving away this knowledge that I have gathered together, because I haven't really created anything new. I learned kung fu from Grandmaster Leong Shum, or the Tai Chi. I learned boxing from Coach Samaj Floyd down in Georgia. He was the coach of the boxing team for the Olympics back in Atlanta. You understand? I've learned stuff and I just combined them together. I didn't make up boxing. I didn't make up a new kung fu. It is all based on things that are already have a foundation. Only thing new, like I said, is that I put these different things together. So, from my experience as a teacher for years, and traveling around America. I'm from New York. I lived all over New York. I taught in many places in New York. Then I moved to Virginia, and I had a group of teachers. They were school teachers, and they were kind of trying to get behind me, but I wasn't into it. I was a wanderer and a traveler back then. I'm out. So I didn't take advantage of that, and I left. But they were there. They came there to learn from me, the Tai Chi. So I taught them a little bit, and then we got disconnected. Then I moved to Georgia. I started classes in Georgia. I actually taught at the YMCA that Martin Luther King and Vernon Jordan and all these down there is really cliquish. It's like, oh, Martin Luther King went to that YMCA. Vernon Jordan was born in the hospital down the block. Well, we want to be in that clique. Really cliquish. So I've been down there all over Georgia in different cities. And then I've been out here in California. And everywhere I've been in the hood. Not really. The funny thing is, when I lived in shelters, I was in the wealthy neighborhood, believe it or not. It was always a shelter in the wealthy neighborhood. And the only time I lived outside is when I lived on Venice Beach, but that's like, I'm an ex-Marine, so that was, so I did all that, and now I'm starting this channel because I even, what you do call that? I did a little market research. I had a friend that had a martial art channel, and I was talking about cannabis kung fu and to see what the feedback. It was like half and half. To tell the truth, I'm gonna tell the truth when it comes to my people, black people. Black people brothers was like, yo, that's that shit. That's that. But the traditional Caucasian Asian white people was like, you're just going to be drug addicts and you're just going to have drug addicts. I done had two crews out here in California, and they were all really fit and good, and we all smoke, and I don't know any of them that is like, oh yeah, I'm a drug addict, dude. I've been smoking since 10 years old. I'm 67 years old. You do the math. Am I talking like, well, sometimes maybe I'd be like, sometimes the words be like, and then, but I'm going to show you on these videos. I have written books like with an S. I have created a system from the I Ching. That's off the chain. I can't even believe I did that. Wait till I tell you what that means. I did it a little bit on the opening video, but the system is based on a book. So what am I talking about? I'm 20 minutes now. What I wanted to talk about on this video was how I'm going to, or not just me, how I need other people to work with me to make this Kung Fu an industry. Now, what I mean by that, I don't know if I'm using the right word. I think industry is the right word, because on the one side, on this channel, I'm going to be teaching about the Mari-HuAna, but how to use it on a higher level. Not, we're going to talk about some recreation. I just talked about a little bit using the holy chalice or the coconut bong, but we're going to get into the whole spiritual or self-realization stuff. It's deep. It gets deep. This is it. They get deep. But other than that, that's the marijuana side. But the cannabis plant, see, when we say cannabis, we realize that there are two sides to the cannabis plant. One is the Mari-HuAna, the stuff we smoke, but the other, I don't want to use that finger, the other one is the hemp, the male side of the plant. And I don't know who you are or what you know, but if you do some research on your own, you'll find out that the hemp plant, one plant can make 50,000. 50,000? I can't even think of 50,000 things. But I do know food, clothes, bricks and wood type stuff, fuel, oil, all that can be made from one plant. You need certain processes for each one of those different things. But right off the bat, say if we got together and was growing our own hemp and marijuana, I can do legally, we would be self-sufficient for one. If you're making money and you can make everything that you need, from plastic to clothes to your own even house, what would you use money for? What would you need money for? You might need it to do, some trade with different people, but if I can show you that we can make everything ourselves, literally, the technology exists. So the purpose of this video at 24 minutes, I try to do these. Well, this is the explainer videos are going to be longer, and then after this, I'm going to do the form of the Kung Fu, and those will be like 12 minutes. So right now, I don't care. So the first thing about this video, I want to talk about trying to find sponsors. Now, if you don't know what a sponsor is, see, I'm talking to the people that already know what a sponsor is, and hopefully they already know that a martial art, if you sponsor a martial arts, a tournament or exhibition or something like a live event with martial art, you understand that that's just, I used to do entertainment. In other words, we find some entertainment, some singers, dancers. We used to do talent shows, have all kinds of talent. So we found out that all we needed was You get the talent now. Okay, we got the talent. You find a space. We used to rent a space, and then we go get. Back in those days, we get flyers. We go get 10,000 flyers, and we get out on the street and we promote. And 1,000 people show up, paying $15 a ticket. So it's the same with martial art. It's just that the talent is martial art as opposed to singing and dance. I mean, we can have that type of entertainment too, but the main event of live events is me showing people what can. Nobody on earth, nobody, none, zip, zero, nada, have cannabis kung fu. This is totally new, totally new, totally new, and it's real. It's real kung. This is no joke. It's not. It ain't even about smoking really. So I have to get into that on other videos. Now, from sponsors, we talk about producers. A sponsor is somebody like what I started to say before when we was doing. I did like Tai Chi tournaments when I first started teaching at the YMCA in New York. I was with Lamar Thornton and these people these are like the biggest karate people in Harlem, and I was one of the first. Besides his best friend, Master Musa Wea, I gotta say his name because he was a good brother. Was passed. Lamar Thornton brought me in because I was traditional Tai Chi, and we did exhibitions. And one of the sponsors for those exhibitions was Budweiser beer. Now that's big money, big money. From back then, I didn't like the idea of beer sponsoring a martial art exhibition because I understood that they were just trying to get the black dollar to buy beer. But the whole point is these big time people, because now it's different. Now you have big time people that's big time into Mari-HuAna, that people that own dispensaries and stuff, making millions and millions. Why do you think these states are making it legal? You think they making it legal because they not making tax dollars? Have you ever looked at the statistics of how many people use marijuana? Do you understand? I not grew up, but was a teacher with other teachers, and they were again in New York. It was like a drug, so everybody was underground. But I know a lot of kung fu people who smoke. Back then, it was like in the background. Out here now, it's legal in most states, or many states. Now we need to get into the higher aspect. So from sponsors, we talk about producers. Producers, y'all know who you are. You put up the money. It's like, okay, the sponsor gonna have like banners and all that type of stuff at the exhibition or tournament, whatever it is. But the producer, they're like partners for that minute. I'm not really thinking about taking on partners for long term. You produce a show, you come up with the cash, I come up with the skills and the talent, and we put a show on in whatever state you're in. You understand? Producers, like the executive producer of a movie, who do you think put up the money? When you see executive producer on the screen when you look at the movie, that's the dude that put up the money. You'd be like, I don't even know his name, but yeah, that's the money dude. Um, Promoters. A promoter can be a whole lot of people. Like producers are specific people. Um, uh, Sponsors may be specific companies or specific people, but promoters can be anybody. It can be a bunch of promoters. Again, if you're in a different state from me, or if you are right here in California or in Los Angeles, you can be out there working with me, promoting. You understand? Because I'm promoting, I'm promoting a system of self-defense for the people. It don't matter what color you are, but of course, I'm going to talk about stuff that, uh, you know, is, is personal to so-called black people. Because guess what? People call me black. I don't call myself black, but I'm not going to get into all that right now. So promoters get out there and they teach, or they get out there and they put out the flyers, they put out the ads, they put out the um on the news or whatever. So promoters know who they are. Public relations. Now again, this kung fu is unknown. So what I want to do, or what I hope to do, is be promoting it, promoters, in every state that it can be promoted in America and in other countries. Excuse me. In other countries also. Anywhere where cannabis is legal, or if you in this state and recreational cannabis is still illegal, you probably live right close to a state where it is illegal. So eventually all states will get it illegal, and the federal government will have to recognize it then. But public relations are, uh, me myself, of course, I'm looking for, especially women that are into this, because a public relations person is a person that get out there on TV, on Oprah or whatever, and talk about what it is we're doing. They're pushing us in the media. So they're different from promoters who are like out in the public and in the street pushing this. A public relations person specifically gets into the media to promote this. I'm not talking about no small time shit here. For real, for real. This is in my head. Hope it's not just in my head. This is gonna be big, big. I'm thinking of how many people smoke marijuana, how many people want to take martial arts, how many people already do martial arts that will maybe not take my martial arts, but they might just take the part of the cannabis side of the kung fu and add it to their martial arts. How many millions of people are smoking and don't know anything about the spirituality? That's what I'm talking about. The opportunity, because, well, I don't believe in anybody under 18 years old smoking. I don't see a reason for a child to smoke unless they have epilepsy or cancer or some type of serious disease where we can make medicine. So smoking does not heal the body. Making medicine out of the herb helps heal the body. We're gonna get into all that. Okay, so where am I at? Salespeople. Now we can have a multitude of salespeople in every state. Now, in a later video, I'm going to show you the few products that I already have. I have 3. Well, it's going to grow. I have the excerpt of my book, which is just a small part to give you an idea. The book that I wrote is literally handwritten now. I got to get it typed up, da da da. But I did type up an excerpt from the book, so that'll be that is for sale. I have a Qigong video. Qigong is breathing exercise or breath work. that'll teach you. That's the first thing you learn, even with meditation, because the qigong will teach you or get you into meditation. Qigong calms the body first so that the mind can meditate. Then you can focus on meditation. So they go together. So I have a book. I have a Qigong video. Now this, well, you can't see it. That thing I had to put up right here, that is what I call the wall hanging. That'll have the whole Kung Fu form on it. And they're going to be cards that you can take out and you can switch up the form on that wall hanging. And the last product that I have to put together, I have cards. So on the wall hanging, on the back of the cards will be the regular I Ching, but on the small cards that you can carry with you will be the esoteric meanings of the I Ching, meaning what flowers go with the hexagram, etc., etc. Now, if you're going to get into it, you see that I'm not joking. You're going to have to, I hate to say the word have to, but if you're going to get into this, especially if you want to be certified consultant instructor, that this is for y'all mostly. People that just want to take the form, that's on you if you want to learn all this stuff I'm talking about. But a certified consultant instructor will have to learn, and you have to prove that you know at the end of a 10-month course that you know the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching and how each form is a part of it. You understand? So you got 10 months to learn this stuff. In 10 months, you will learn our martial art, which is based on street boxing, which is really simple and easy to learn um, on video, on the web. Other kung fu systems, I don't believe that you can really learn a kung fu system like traditional kung fu on the web. So salespeople will have those three, and then we're going to add like tickets to our live events. So if you live in another state, and we find people that out there, promoters and sponsors, and you're a salesperson in that state, bring me out. Let's set it up. Make some money off of me. I'll come out there. I'll do the show. I'll do the kung fu. Hopefully by then I'll have a couple of students where I can do some actual, or I'll pick people from the audience. It don't matter. I am the show. My kung fu comes with me. All I need is my kung fu shoes, my kung fu sash, and my Chinese looking. I might be wearing some dashikis, but you know, everything is up here. Salespeople. I need salespeople in every state that we can do this in. So the last three are, well, not the last, but of course, the most important of all this are students. This is a new, literally brand new Kung Fu. Now, I equate it with my hero, or the only Chinese person who I call a hero, Bruce Lee. Now, because Bruce Lee is where I get the whole idea of not only combining boxing with Chinese kung fu, but well, it's a lot of stuff I get from Bruce Lee. But before him, or actually in contemporary with him, was my real life superhero, Muhammad Ali. Now, Muhammad Ali, years later, I found out, learned from Jun Rhee, who is a, I don't know if he passed, who is a grandmaster of Taekwondo. And if you look at Ali back in the day and look at his boxing style, his punches, at least two of the punches were unorthodox. And those were the punches he learned from Jun Ri. And I incorporated those punches in this system. The third person, so what I'm saying is Muhammad Ali, he took he didn't make a whole system like Bruce Lee, but he took some stuff and put it with his boxing from Asian martial arts. Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali was, I don't know, his hero, but he took Muhammad Ali's stuff and literally that's what it is. It's Wing Chun and boxing. He put other stuff in there, but those are the two main things that he put into Jeet Kune Do, boxing and Wing Chun. So he made a system, but he wasn't he didn't want to be commercial. So now we come to Billy Blanks. If you look back, if you check it out, Billy Blanks created Tai Chi Bo. What was that? Tai Chi Bo was boxing combined with Korean martial arts. So we start with Ali, who brought a little bit of Korean martial arts. Then we get to he was a champion first. He was a champion fighter first. Then he got into the movies. Then he created Tai Chi Bo, Billy Blanks. And all he did was combine boxing and Tai Chi Bo, and Taekwondo, and created a fitness, commercially, he created a fitness, what do you call that? Fad. You understand? It's probably but at one time it's like everybody, let's do Tai Chi Bo. So what am I saying? As far as I know, I am the first one to take aspects of Tai Chi, only take aspects, because you can't learn how to fight moving slow. So the fast part is learning the boxing. We call it jailhouse, or today they call it 52 blocks. The street boxing I learned when I was young, I'm combining that with the Tai Chi internal power exercises. This system is off the chain. I can't even believe that I don't know if I made it up, it was given to me, whatever. But it exists, it's together, and I'm getting ready to put it out there. So, students, you don't have to be somebody who smoke, you don't have to eat edibles, you don't have to use Mari-HuAna. Like I said, you will learn what we teach, especially if you want to be a consultant instructor in this system. You're going to learn about it because I got history. I, I got the history coming from us, Afro-Asiatics, the Shang dynasty, who wrote the I Ching. I got the medicine. I got the Kung Fu. Come on, this is for real. So, when you learn this Kung Fu, you can get certified and all that. So besides what I said, sponsors, producers, promoters, like sales representatives. A sales representative works off commission. So if I say, well, here, my video is $20, so you get $10, send me $10, and I send the video directly on the web to the customer. We come out even because you're doing the selling. I made the video. You selling the video. So I'm like, that's kind of like we even there. You understand? So if I gave you pay, like, okay, you get $200 a week. If you sold 1,000 videos, you get $200 a week. But if you sell 1,000 videos, how much is that times $10? $10,000. If you're a salesperson, if you are a salesperson, you know if I get out there and bust my ass, I'm gonna make as much money as I want to, not a paycheck. That's all I got to say about that. So now so after students, we need students because I want students who are going to come and get certified as consultant instructors. You understand? Again, whatever state you're in, once you become a consultant instructor, if the state is legally um, uh, uh, a medical or marijuana state certified under our church temple, you'll be legally able to get marijuana from us and sell it to our members. We can't just be like a dispensary and just sell it to any old body. People have to be members. They have to be studying what we're teaching, da 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 da. But we can sell it legally. I can ship it to you legally as long as your state recognizes it's an act, the Religious Reformation Act or something. I'll come up with it later. But I did my research, so I know what I'm talking about, even though I don't know the word right now. The Religious Act. It's an act. And I actually think Bill Clinton brought it back into. But anyway, to those states, I can legally send you cannabis. And you can legally sell it because you will be certified under the church. So anyway, getting on an hour now. So the last people I will ask for are people who will donate. You're not last. I'm putting it last because it's like people who donate may not even want to learn the kung fu. You might not even be smokers, but probably people like who have studied the science of the cannabis or who have studied the overall business and things like that. Or you could be somebody who's just wealthy and is like, well, shit, I think I'll give these people $1 million because at the end of the year, it's in tax break. I am a legal tax. Tax. I'll show you my certificate. I'm Professor R.T. Bates or Roy T. Bates. Sifu. Sifu is Chinese for teacher or father. And ordained cannabis. Which way the C goes? C, cannabis clergy. So that means I can actually like marry you. Like I was thought about it, having cannabis weddings and cannabis celebrations and all that type of stuff. But I want to do this first. But if you want me to come do a cannabis celebration or something or wedding, I'll do it. I'm a certified guy. Anyway, so volunteers also. So people who will usually donate cash. They might donate it what you call that when you don't know who donated, they just donate the money. You can do that. I don't care. But don't I really hate to say this because it sounds like I'm being cheap or something or uh, you know, worried about money. But there's two sides. You got spirituality, but how spiritual can I be without money? I can't buy good food without money. I can't take my time, and go do certain spiritual things because I gotta go work a job or go to the welfare office. There's two sides. You got money and you got spiritual. I'd rather be spiritual with some money because now I can travel, I can eat good, I can get students and all that. So, donators, we need you. And then there are volunteers. They might be the same thing. It might be people who don't really like use marijuana, smoke, or eat or whatever, but they have studied the science and different things, and they're like, well, I agree with what he's trying to do. So again, in your state or even this state, whatever, if you want to be a volunteer, come on. I have no problem with people helping me out. Look how many people around me now. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm 67 years old. I've waited a long time waiting for family and friends and even students. I had to learn that I'm teaching Tai Chi and I'm promoting Tai Chi and people come for Tai Chi. But when they get there, I'm talking about let's do business. And they be like, you see their eyes, you see it in their eyes, they be like, as soon as you start talking something other than Tai Chi. So I'm like, let me start out talking about business. I really believe, and I'm just about 99.9% sure that if this was promoted, if our live events had producers and sponsors, if we had salespeople, if I could bring all these people together, this is going to be big. Because most of you that I named, producer, sponsor, y'all understand that if I put this out there, people gonna get into it just because. Not everybody gonna stick with it. But imagine if I had 1,000 people just in the States, 1,000, and they average $40 a month, which is what I'll be charging for the classes. $40, $40, $10 a week. I'm gonna be charging for the certification course. $40 a week for 10 months. Pay that shit off right now. $400. Poof. Right? $40 a week. Imagine if I kept a regular 1,000 people with that $40. That's $40,000. Once I make the training videos and everything, I don't have to do anything else. I just do the live events and come to your state and do a demonstration, whatever. But sponsors, promoters, producers, whoever you are that want to work with me, listen to what I just said. I'm thinking way more than I'm thinking million. But just 1,000 people in the world, that's $40,000 a month. We might have to split that up, but you might make 40,000, I might make 40,000. You know what I'm saying? This is business. Wait till I really start talking about this kung fu. Okay, so I basically have talked for an hour. Did I smoke the bong? Well, let's smoke it again anyway, because I still got a few minutes before an hour. Oh no, I know what happened. It was really weak because somehow it got loose. So you put your hand, I showed this on the last video, because I got the 5 hands from that I put into my kung fu, which is the 5 elements. So much. When I just talk about the Tao, it's going to be so much. When you get into cannabis kung fu, it's a part of Taoism. No, it's real. I showed the book in the beginning video and everything. It's real. I did not make this up. I just put different aspects together. Like Wu style Tai Chi, and boxing. Nobody has done that. None, zip, zero, nada. Muhammad Ali took some martial art punches from Taekwondo. Bruce Lee took the boxing and combined it with Wing Chun and created Jeet Kune Do. Billy Blanks took boxing and put it with Taekwondo and created Tai Bo. And now I have taken street boxing, not just regular boxing. I have learned Olympic boxing, but I've taken street boxing, which is our style. Like I said, you have Mantis and you have Bagua and you have different styles of Kung Fu, but they're all based on the same principles that make Kung Fu Kung Fu. So I have combined Wu style internal practice, which is the slow stuff, the breathing, the meditation, with boxing, which is the fast stuff, the fitness, the I'm gonna knock this new and when I combine them together, it is not boxing anymore because most of you probably know about sport boxing and many and maybe some of you know about street. Maybe you've seen a street fight. And some of you know about Tai Chi. Most of you don't. But what I found on the internet, people had a really hard time combining the two because you can't. You can't turn this into this. It's two different energies for one, and it can make you sick. So I have to get into all that. Wow. I'm fucking deep, man. Go get your bowl. Gu Xian Shou, divine Mari-HuAna, brings immortality. So we are coming upon an hour. I think this video long enough. So, as always remember and never forget, if you can't be safe, be dangerous. We're going to get into this Kung Fu. Peace.